Reality bends only to those who uncover the secret to commanding it from the inside. What would you do if you discovered a code, hidden in plain sight, capable of completely rewriting your financial, emotional, and spiritual life from scratch? And what if I told you this code isn't found in some new place, but lies buried between the forgotten lines of an ancient technique, overlooked even by the greatest scholars of the law of attraction? The question that truly matters is, why do some people seem to effortlessly attract wealth, opportunities, and freedom, while others spend their lives repeating affirmations and visualizations without any results? You've undoubtedly heard of Joseph Murphy, the author of the classic The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, the man who popularized the idea that your mind is a master key capable of unlocking any door, be it health, love, or prosperity. But what few realize is that there was a technique he intentionally avoided revealing openly, not because it was dangerous, but because it demanded a kind of awakened consciousness, a level of inner truth that most were not yet ready to access. This technique isn't merely a practice, it is a state, a portal, and if you follow it to its conclusion, you will understand exactly how to access this portal and why the ultimate revelation is, without exaggeration, the most potent of all. The only one capable of making your financial reality literally bend to your presence. Before we proceed, take a deep breath. Feel. Because what you are about to hear is neither theory nor fantasy. It is a direct challenge to your very own consciousness. And your consciousness creates worlds. If you believe you arrived here by chance, you need to look closer. The algorithm may have brought you, but the call, that came from within. And since you are here, do it now. Like this video and subscribe to the channel. It's quick, but it signals to the universe that you are ready to open this new frequency. A frequency where money flows, not because you chase it, but because you have begun to emanate the right kind of command. And believe me, this command has nothing to do with words. It has to do with vibrational identity, with who you truly are when no one is watching. And this is where Murphy's lost technique comes in, a method that, contrary to popular belief, doesn't start with positive thinking, but with the recognition of your original state. That state before limiting beliefs, before debts, the fear of not having, the anxiety of failure. It is a return, a rescue. Joseph Murphy knew that the subconscious mind acts as a perfect servant, accepting everything you feel as true. But here's where most people get stuck. It's useless to repeat phrases if what's vibrating inside you is scarcity. You can say, "I am rich," 1,000 times. But if your energy field is saying, "I don't deserve it," guess who the universe listens to? And this is where the breakthrough begins. Murphy spoke of using imagination with emotion, of scientific prayer. But there's a key few have explored: the fusion of silence and inner command. A technique so simple it seems ridiculous. Yet, when activated correctly, it transforms you into such an intense gravitational field that money begins to seek ways to reach you. Yes, you heard that right. When applied precisely, this technique causes money to start looking for you. Now, pause and reflect. When was the last time you remained in total silence, deeply feeling the reality you desire, without asking, without pleading, without waiting, simply assuming that thing already is? This is the first breakthrough, the breaking point, because in that moment, reality begins to obey, not because you asked for it, but because you assumed the inner throne. And this is exactly where many go wrong. They want to manifest a new reality without changing the frequency of the identity they emanate. How can you expect wealth while still being emotionally loyal to scarcity? Now imagine what happens when this invisible loyalty is broken. When you, even without a penny in your account, begin to walk, talk, and react like someone who already carries millions in their consciousness. Something shifts. An invisible door opens. Life begins to yield. And in that moment, an impulse arises, a spark, as if something within you recognizes, yes, I always knew it. I just didn't have the words. This lost technique is, in reality, a return to who you have always been. It's about remembering what was forgotten due to conditioning, pain, and failures that taught you to doubt yourself. And what if I told you that this return begins today, and that there's a hidden step, a simple trigger, capable of bringing your mind and energy field into total alignment with the frequency of accelerated manifestation? This trigger is clearly described in a material you can access right now. It's in the first pinned comment. If you felt this call vibrate within you, click there and feel for yourself. The words there weren't written to convince you. They were written to remind you. Soon, we will reveal the inner structure of this technique more clearly, and the most powerful part is yet to come. But first, repeat softly or simply think. Reality bends only to those who uncover the secret to commanding it from the inside. Yes, feel it. Now that you've started to remember, what will you create? You are about to cross a threshold. What I am about to reveal to you might initially seem symbolic, perhaps even too mystical for the logical mind. But that is precisely where the error lies. The logical mind has been trained to discredit the invisible, and that's why you attract exactly what you are accustomed to feeling, not what you desire. Joseph Murphy knew that the subconscious mind is a kind of recorder, but more than that, it's a transmitting and receiving station. Everything you feel as true transforms into a vibrational pattern, and everything you emit returns. Most people think this is a metaphor, but if you pay attention, you will see the signs, the repetitions of failure, the financial blocks, the near successes that slip through your fingers. Everything is a direct reflection of what is etched at your core. And this is where the core of the technique that many ignored begins. Murphy didn't just talk about repeating positive affirmations. He taught the principle of silent super-awareness. The idea that there is a state where you don't command reality with words, but with a felt identity. A state where you don't need to convince the universe, because you are the universe manifesting a specific version of itself. In this state, there is no I want. There is only I am. And this isn't just a nice phrase. It's a vibrational key. The most common mistake among law of attraction practitioners is trying to manifest from a place of scarcity, saying, I am rich, while being afraid to open the banking app, saying, I am prosperous, while feeling ashamed of depending on someone. This creates internal conflict. And where there is conflict, there is no manifestation, only repetition. Now imagine the following scenario. You lie down, close your eyes, and instead of asking the universe for something, you simply assume. You feel with your breath that what you desire has already come true, not because you visualized it, but because you've stepped into the role. The lost technique is, in fact, a form of radical inner theater, a felt performance down to the cellular level. It's not about pretending, but about training the emotional field to recognize what is not yet visible as if it were already materialized. Murphy described this as the fusion of faith and habit. And this is what few understood. You don't attract what you think once or twice. You attract what has become familiar to your emotional system. The key isn't to repeat words. It's to make the feeling of success familiar. And how is this done? Through felt repetition, through symbolic vividness, through creating micro moments where you walk like someone who has already won, smile like someone who has already overflowed, give thanks like someone who has already received. This is the secret of the technique, to remain faithful to the desired state even when the physical world says the opposite. And this requires something rare, emotional coherence. It means stopping negotiation with doubt, stopping clinging to what diminishes you. Because every time you pity yourself, you reassert your loyalty to the old. Every time you say, but it never works for me, You sign a new contract with scarcity. Now, I want you to pause. Breathe deeply and answer with brutal honesty. What is the internal scenario you visit most often? Not what you pretend to want, but what your body vibrates in silence when no one is watching you. This is the true point of attraction, not the conscious desire, but the unconscious habit of feeling lack, of worrying, of thinking you need to earn every tiny crumb. The technique Joseph Murphy did not explicitly reveal involves an internal ritual, awakening before sleep. During the seconds preceding deep sleep, the critical mind dissolves. And there, in that very brief space, the subconscious mind is completely open. This is the fertile ground. It is there you plant, but most go to sleep with fear, reviewing their accounts, remembering failures. And then, guess what manifests? If you truly want to use this technique, pay attention to this. The moment before sleep is sacred, and it must be used to feel with every pore that what you desire is already yours, not as a request, but as a presence. Murphy said that what you accept as true in sleep will be imprinted in the subconscious. So if you sleep with the vibration of victory, you alter the field. And this is what no one is saying in rapid manifestation videos. Because it's not about speed, it's about depth, about frequency, about inner commitment. This is the point where everything changes. If you feel that this content is opening something new within you, something that has no logical explanation, click the link in the first pinned comment. You will understand. You don't have to believe, just feel. There's something waiting to be activated inside. Now, I want you to listen to this with your full attention. Reality bends only to those who uncover the secret to commanding it from the inside. This phrase is more than a mantra. It's a code, a reminder, a call to creative responsibility. Do you want to know why so many people watch videos like this, read books, attend courses, but remain stuck in the same cycle? Because they seek external tools to fix a misaligned internal state. The secret isn't what you learn. It's what you allow to transform you. And if you've made it this far, perhaps it's because something has already begun to stir within you. Something you don't understand, but recognize. Because your soul knows it. It has always known it. And here, I deliver the most powerful revelation. Joseph Murphy knew that all the power of creation condensed into a single inner attitude: non-return. Non-return is the point where you decide, with all your might, that you will no longer feed the old. Burn the emotional bridges that tied you to scarcity, to doubt, to the fear of not being enough. This is the moment the universe responds, not to your voice, but to your vibrational decision. Non-return is when you stop observing reality as a mirror and start treating it as a consequence. It is when you feel, without having seen, and act as one who already possesses. It is when you walk in the world as a commanding presence, not as someone who pleads. The forgotten technique, then, is not in words. It lies in the felt decision, in the absolute alignment between thought, emotion, and behavior. You don't need more information. You need commitment to a new version of yourself, and she is already there, just waiting to be assumed. Do you understand now why this technique seemed lost? Not because it was hidden, but because it was forgotten within us, hidden under layers of fear, repetition, conditioning. People were searching for a magic formula, but the true secret has always been between the lines, in the silence between Murphy's sentences, in the space between one thought and another. It is in this void that the new can enter. If you feel that all of this has resonated within you, that something has opened, do not ignore it. Because this is more than a video. It is an activation point, a silent call for you to finally stop circling, trying to make the universe work in your favor, and begin to command your reality from within, as it was always meant to work. And do you know the most brutal detail of all this? When you assume this frequency, you stop looking for proof and start creating it. You no longer wait for a signal from the external world to believe. You become the signal. You transform into the living manifestation of what you desire. This is the posture that opens portals. Murphy's technique is completed here, not in the automatic repetition of positive phrases, but in the reconstruction of your inner identity. What you think you are creates what you see. What you feel as true molds into matter. You can say you believe in the power of the mind, but is your life demonstrating it? Is your bank account, your relationships, your vital energy aligned with this discourse? If the answer is no, then it's time to stop and decide. Because the truth is this: the universe does not respond to what you say. It responds to what you hold true when no one is watching you. And if what you hold is doubt, fear, and struggle, then that is what it will continue to deliver to you with mathematical exactness. But the moment you stop doubting and start living as if it were already real, everything changes. Because your field changes. Because reality obeys only those who discover the secret to commanding it from within. This is the ultimate revelation, and it is the most powerful of all. When you understand that you don't need to convince anyone but yourself, the game changes. You stop trying to prove things, you stop seeking validation, and you begin to emanate something different. A presence that magnetizes, a certainty that doesn't shout, but is felt from a distance. You start to speak less and attract more. You start to desire less and live more. And money? It stops being a problem or a goal. It becomes a consequence, a reflection, a natural expression of who you are when you are in total alignment with your truth. And do you know when this new cycle begins? Now, not tomorrow, not after you feel secure. It is now, in this precise moment when you feel deep down that you can no longer live in almost. In this instant, when you recognize that you already know everything you need, all that's missing is to decide. To decide to stop being a spectator of your own life. To decide to assume without asking permission what you already know belongs to you by vibrational right. You are not hearing this by chance. You've felt it before. In dreams, in silences, in moments of despair when everything seemed lost, but something within you still whispered, "Calm. You were born for more." This whisper is your essence calling you back. And now you have a choice: to continue feeding the old or to embrace the new with total presence. Because no one will manifest for you. That responsibility and that power are yours alone. If this video has touched you in any way, if you felt it reminded you of something that was dormant, like it and subscribe now, not for me, but for you. Because you need to keep this vibrational field active. Because you deserve to be surrounded by content that reminds you who you truly are. And if you haven't clicked the link in the first pinned comment yet, do it now. There's something there that can unlock what's missing. Not because it's magic, but because it's direct. And sometimes, all we need is a trigger, a click, a key that turns inside and begins to open new doors outside. Come back whenever you need to hear it again. This is not information to be understood all at once. It is to be felt, to be internalized, to be lived. And in the end, it all comes down to this: reality bends only to those who uncover the secret to commanding it from the inside. Write this in the comments if this message made sense to you. Share it. Expand it. This is the kind of truth that more people need to be reminded of, and you are a part of this. Now go and manifest with power, not because you learned a technique, but because you remembered who you are. And if you want more videos like this, more reminders like this, like subscribe and turn on notifications. See you at the next manifestation, because your new you is already waiting for you.